Lights, camera. I got a word for y'all today. What if my comfort zone was never actually comfortable? We're here and we're just perfectly okay remaining stagnant because that's what we're used to. Yo, grow up. That's when you start to discover that you actually deserve a better life than the one that you've been living. But Cherry showed me to do that. I'm gonna mind my business on that one. But just because you're used to experiencing something does not mean that that's your comfort zone. I know you guys did not let that go over your head. That's crazy. Hey friends! I think I need to start putting some orange cones outside like the construction workers so that people know I'm on set. Lights, camera. Hey friends! Not me really starting. Yo, grow up. At what point, love? I'm gonna be real. I be really trying to edit my videos so that I don't come across so weird, but I think I just have to be weird. I think I just have to be me. And you're just gonna have to love it. I can't be nobody but me, baby. So I'm just gonna leave all of that in there. And you're just gonna see me for me, okay? Hey friends! I got a word for y'all today. I got a word for y'all today. I got a word for y'all today. Hey, the word of the day is, have you ever been comfortable? Have you ever been comfortable? And this word stems from a verse that I came across in Matthew. Look, your girl ain't even got her word open. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. From a verse that I came across in Matthew chapter 6, verse 22 and 23. We've talked about this on a few of my lives before, because when I first came across this verse, I was so like, phew. Like, I fully understand how pastors be doing series, because with one verse, it's like there's so much depth to all of them. It's so insane. There's so much that comes to mind when I read so many of these verses that I could make so many videos on just these two verses alone. Okay, let's take a deep breath real quick. You ready? Are you gonna do it? Or are you gonna sit here and make me look like a clown by myself? Are you ready? Okay. That actually helps so much. Like, you can really tell how much that really grounds me. Cherry actually showed me that. Like, I knew that was a good coping mechanism for anxiety, but Cherry showed me to do that. We love Cherry. Anyway, Matthew 6:22, verse 23. I'm really speaking on the end of verse 23, but I'm going to read both verses for context. I'm reading from the NLT version of the Note-Taking Bible from Hosanna Revival. Verse 22 says, "Your eye is like a lamp that provides light for your body. When your eye is healthy, your whole body is filled with light. But when your eye is unhealthy, your whole body is filled with darkness. And if the light you think you have is actually darkness, how deep that darkness is." I have so much written in my note section for those two verses because it really does say so much. It's so wild to me to sit here and read scripture, and so many of the answers that we have been searching for how long now are written right here in the book. Like, all along, the answers were right here. Why didn't I just pick up the Bible and read them? That's so... Anyway, but that end of verse 23 where it says, "And if the light you think you have is actually darkness, how deep that darkness is." There's so much to say about that part, but when I read it, I immediately thought, have I ever been comfortable? Have you ever been comfortable? Or has my comfort zone really been discomfort the entire time? Did I get comfort zone mixed up with normalcy? What if my comfort zone was never actually comfortable? What if I had just been used to being uncomfortable for so long that became comfortable? And I'm telling you, it blew my mind to think about. I was pondering on that thought for a long time because I sat around for so long being so scared to leave my comfort zone. But what if in reality you've never been comfortable? What if you're so scared to leave your comfort zone because the enemy don't want you to leave your comfort zone? The enemy don't want you to know that you've actually been uncomfortable the entire time, because the second that you get out of that comfort zone and you break through that discomfort is the second that you start discovering the person that you were actually created to be. See, that's when you start to discover that you actually deserve a better life than the one that you've been living. That's when you start to discover that you actually deserve comfortability, that there's so much more to life than living a life where you're stagnant and uncomfortable and unhappy. What if the thing that you thought was light for your entire life was actually darkness and you didn't realize it because that's the only light that you ever knew? What if what you've always known to be love was actually secret hate? You just didn't even know that because you've been disrespected for so long that felt like love. And so now anything that is respectful, anybody that does treat you good, it feels uncomfortable. And because you're so scared to leave your comfort zone, that's actually discomfort. Now you're blocking all of your blessings. That's crazy. If you've been on any of my lives this week, somehow we got on the topic of family and friendships and all of these things that we were exposed to growing up behind closed doors and in those four walls of the household that we grew up in, and how that became normalcy. That became our normal. That became our comfort zone. And when I looked up the definition of comfort zone, it was talking about a place where you feel safe. How do you know that you've actually been unsafe your entire life if you never actually feel safety? And that's what I started thinking about when I read the end of that verse, because I think that so many of us, we felt unsafe for so long that that's now our comfort zone, to the point where when we step out of that unsafety, it's uncomfortable. And so now we're viewing all of these beautiful, positive things that we deserve to experience as uncomfortable because it's completely different than what we're used to experiencing. See, I first experienced what love was not. I experienced what love was not supposed to be. It was not supposed to feel like. It was not supposed to sound like. I first experienced what love was not. And then when I turned around and got the opportunity to experience what love really is, what love is really meant to be, what love really feels like, it felt very uncomfortable. And I'm telling you, I ran for the hills because my comfort zone was disloyalty. My comfort zone was disrespect. My comfort zone was fake love. My comfort zone was betrayal. That was my comfort zone because I had comfort mixed up with normalcy. I had safe space mixed up with what was normal, what was common, what was a trend in my life, what I was used to experiencing. Just because you're used to experiencing something does not mean that that's your comfort zone. And I really believe that that's why so many of us stay stuck. We're so stuck because we've made it our comfort zone when really it's just normal. And just because it's normal, just because it's a common trend in our life, does not make it okay. And it does not make you comfortable. And it's hard because a lot of times that's all we know. And when it's all we know, we just want to stay there because when we're experiencing things that we already know, we've already been through, then we know what to expect. It's like, I'm telling you, I put the little light bulb thing in the side there because I was just so like, holy crap. There's so many answers in that verse if you really look at it, if you don't let it go over your head, if you really think about what it could be saying to you. And if the light you think you have is actually darkness, how deep that darkness is, how lost are we if the entire time we've really been uncomfortable, but we don't know comfortability to know that we've been uncomfortable. And so now we're chilling and we're vibing and we're remaining stagnant in that uncomfortability to the point that we build a life in that comfort zone. We build a life in a made up comfort zone that has never actually been comfortable. And then when we experience even a little bit of comfort, it feels like discomfort. I stayed in disobedience for so long that it felt like I was being obedient by remaining true to that by remaining true to myself, which was disobedience. It felt like light, but it was always darkness. It felt like love when it was actually hate just disguised as love. It felt like friendship when it was actually secret competition. It felt like respect because that disrespect was all that I knew. It felt like my comfort zone because it was so normal. It was so common. That's all I ever really knew. That's what I was used to. And I really believe that a lot of us are like that. A lot of us, we've been experiencing a life that is just operating in this survival mode for so long that we really started to believe that that's what life is. we started to believe that we're just here to make it by, barely at that. We're just here to work a job that we barely like. We're here to make ends meet, and we're here to be okay but never truly find happiness. We're here to make it by but never actually achieve success. We're here and we're just perfectly okay remaining stagnant because that's what we're used to. Of course, there is so much that I could pinpoint from this verse, or that God spoke to me through this verse, but the first thing that had popped into my head was I ever really comfortable? Were you ever really comfortable? Or was I just living as a half version of myself in order to play and pretend and fit into rooms with people? Was it just normal for me to be half of who I was actually created to be? Was it just normal for me to pretend like I was comfortable? And because I was so used to pretending like I was comfortable, that became comfortable to me. And then anything outside of that felt uncomfortable. It gave me like this anxious, uneasy feeling because I was used to showing up as somebody that I wasn't. And so when I walked into a room and I had to show up as me, I didn't know how to do that. See, a lot of us, we don't know how to operate in discomfort because we're so used to thinking that we're comfortable. Oh my gosh. I know you guys did not let that go over your head. That's crazy. That's crazy. So many of us are so terrified of leaving our comfort zone, not realizing that it's never been our comfort zone. When I first read this verse, I had to journal so much about it because I swear it like lit this fire up under me to want to discover what comfort really feels like. I wanted to experience how it felt to feel safe in a room. Feel safe in a room by myself, feel safe in a room with another person, feel safe in a room with friends. See, a lot of us were in all these friendships because that's our comfort zone. That's our village. Baby, your village has never really, let me chill. Because that wasn't even what the message is. And I'm not even about to, I'm a mind my business on that one. But I just think that a lot of us have a lot to really think on and ponder on and question in our lives. You know, don't get so stuck in your comfort zone that you stay there for forever and don't realize that you're actually uncomfortable. Don't let your comfort zone or your discomfort zone keep you stuck because you don't really have any idea what you're missing out on. What if the thing that you thought was light your whole life was actually darkness? And now you've been living in darkness for how long? What then? What are you missing out on? What beauty and happiness and success in life are you missing out on because you're stuck in a comfort zone that's never been comfortable? Because you're stuck in a love that's never been love, because you're stuck in a household that's never been family, because you're stuck in a friendship that's never been the definition of friendship, because you're stuck thinking that you're living when you're actually just surviving. Oh my gosh. There's so much that I can say on those verses, but I'm gonna leave it at that for time's sake. I'll be back Monday. Wow, it's Friday, so I'll be back Monday with another word, and we're almost done with our October challenge. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of myself for getting them all done the way that I did. It took a lot out of me. I'm proud that I almost made it to the end. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back on Monday with another video. Bye, friends.